He's the king around here, the king of the news, the king of the tea, hot tea, real tea, hot key. He the best, low key, y'all press, ringing his bell, giving him hell, waving his fan. Bitch, you a fan.
Like this video, like this video, like this video.
Hit that like, drop them crowns. Okay, let's start the show. Let's go. Lights, camera, action. Let's go. We ready. We shady from the chat to the stage. Hit like to engage. It's the king with the crown. Put respect on his name. You're a critter. He's a winner. King Pain in the house. Hit that like. Drop them crowns. Flood the chat. A dusty bitch could never. A dusty bitch could never.
My. One more time for the girls in the back. One more time for the girls in the back.
King Pain in the house. Hit that light. Drop that crown. Flood the chat. A dusty bitch could never. A dusty bitch could never. He's the king around here. The king of the news, the king of the tea, hot tea, real tea, hot key. He the best, low key, y'all press, ringing his bell, giving him hell, waving his fan. Bitch, you a fan. King Pain in the house. Hit that
Like this video, like this video, like this video.
Flood the chat. A dusty bitch could never. A dusty bitch could never. Okay, let's start the show. Let's go. Lights, camera, action. Let's go. We ready. We shady from the chat to the stage. Hit like to engage. It's the king with the crown.
Like this video, like this video, like this
He's a
video.
winner. King Pain in the house. Hit that like. Drop them crowns. Flood the chat. A dusty bitch could never. A dusty bitch could never.
Period. Like this video, like this video, like this video right now. My. Let's get these likes up, win. Let's get these likes up, win. We've got breaking news here in the home of the lituation. My. Gather in close. Gather in close. It's being alleged that President Donald Trump is missing. My. We've got breaking news here in the home of the lituation. It's being alleged that President Donald Trump is missing. He has not been seen in the public eye since last Tuesday when. There is a lot of things going on when. My. The official campaign has all of the receipts. There are rising concerns as you know, there has been health speculations, okay, amid sweeping tariffs. Where did I get traffic from? Sweeping tariffs when yes it did, are denied by the Supreme Court. Is President Donald Trump hiding what's going on? The official campaign has all of the receipts. Like this video, like this video, like this video. Gather in close. We've got a lot of things to get into. Everything being shown to you guys during this video is being shown to you guys underneath the fair use and copyright doctrine. Where in the world is President Donald Trump when we the people want to know? Gather in close. My. Ooh. Like this video, like this video, like this video. We got a lot of things to get into. Ooh. Gathering close. Ooh. All right. We get a little piece of music. Okay, on period. Copyright purposes. You already know. You already know. All right, like this video, like this video, like this video. Where the receipts go? Okay, here we go. It's pretty. It's a little piece of loud. Hold on. Is it loud? Let's give it loud. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say, girl, let's give it loud. Very loud. Okay, there we go. That's much better. All right, here we go. Donald Trump is missing. Let's see what's going on.
I don't think I'm asking the question literally. I mean, he probably is. But is Donald Trump alive right now? I don't think I'm asking the question literally. I mean, he probably is. But where is Trump? Donald Trump has not been seen publicly for 3 days on video since that disaster cabinet meeting from Tuesday. I put out a tweet, I put out a a Blue Sky post, a Substack note earlier saying, has anyone seen Donald Trump on video over the last 3 days? I looked through all of the replies and there is no video of Donald Trump from the last 3 days. The White House put out a tweet with a picture of Trump in the Oval Office because of some new knick-knack or tchotchke that they have in there. But of course, that picture could be from any time. Donald Trump's Truth Social account put out a couple of posts. Of course, these could have been written by anybody. And at least one of
Everything being shown to you guys during this video is being shown to you guys according to the fair use and copyright doctrine, informational and educational purposes, research purposes. Where in the world is Donald Trump? Lord, the music is still a little piece of loud, huh? Let me cut it down some more. There we go. That's much better because Lord, gather in close, like this video, like this video, like this video.
of them strangely uses the M dash, typically associated with ChatGPT writing. Another one uses the word literally, not something that Donald Trump does in his Truth Social posts. And then we have news of the temporary flight restriction, known as a TFR. Donald Trump was scheduled to fly to New Jersey tonight to deliver some remarks. A TFR was filed with air traffic control, and then the TFR was canceled, which suggests that Donald Trump is not going, even though nothing publicly as of this moment has been said as to why he's not going or why this has been canceled. This is all fueling speculation. Where is Donald Trump at this point in time? We have now had weeks of growing concern about Donald Trump's health, of course, some dubbing him Cankle's Caligula because of the...
Not Cankle's Caligula. Not Cankle's Caligula. Whoop, whoop. Not Cankle's Caligula. Lord. My. Again, rising health concerns for President Donald Trump when President Donald Trump hasn't been seen in over 4 days and people are wondering where he's at. You know, people have been pointing out that there's been bruising on his hands and on his body when his ankles or cankles are swollen and he's been dubbed Cankle Caligula. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like this video, like this video. We got a lot of things to get into. Gathering close.
Swollen ankles. He then had bruises on his right hand, which he covered up with very obvious makeup, and we were told it's because of vigorous handshaking. He's shaking so many people's hands. But then bruises appeared on his left hand as well. Trump doesn't shake hands with his left hand. So this is not about conspiracy. This is not about, I have reason to believe Trump is dead. This is about circumstances where we normally do see the guy, usually every day, at least every other day. It's been 3 days, no video, TFR canceled, Truth Social posts that look strange, all in the context of growing concern about Donald Trump's health. What's going on? What do you think? Is this anything?
My. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the chat. It is the official King Payne Show. Act like you know where you're at. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Where is Donald Trump when there are, again, rising concerns when, okay? Twitter is, going crazy right now with people speculating that something has happened to Donald Trump. Where is Donald Trump? Concerns rise as POTUS goes missing from public view amid health speculation. Okay, gathering close. U.S. President Donald Trump has no public appearances scheduled over the weekend, leading many to wonder, where is he? My. Questions are being raised around Donald Trump's absence from the spotlight, with one online chatter suggesting the U.S. president has gone missing from public view. To be sure, the speculation is driven mostly by anonymous social media handles. The White House has not commented on this matter. Several posts on Twitter claim that Trump had not been seen over the last day. His schedule for August 30th and 31st also does not list any public events. As per Roll Call, the Washington based publication, this seems to have added fuel to the fire. The latest speculation, which remains unverified, comes amid ongoing concern about Donald Trump's health, especially around the persistent bruising on his hand. Trump's apparent absence has sparked concern on Twitter. One person said Donald Trump has not been seen in over 24 hours and has no public appearances scheduled for the next 2 days. What is going on? Another remarked, Trump has no public event scheduled all weekend. Don't believe he was seen today either. While Trump might not have made any public appearances, been quiet he has been quite active online, as his Truth Social posts will show. Again, people are alleging that the Truth Social posts are some sort of chat GPT, as it's using characters that Trump doesn't usually use. Trump's likely lack of public events could be because the U.S. is headed into Labor Day weekend, with Labor Day slated to be celebrated on September 1st. Trump was initially supposed to be at his Bedminster, New Jersey resort for the final 2 weeks of August, but the president scrapped the plans and decided to stay on in the White House, the Washington Times reported. Word about where the 79-year-old president might be has been compounded due to fears about his health. Trump has been spotted with a bruise on his hand, and on previous occasion, he's been seen with makeup on his hand to hide this bruise. Trump's physician, Sean Barbabea, admitted to Trump having bruises, saying, "This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of standard cardiovascular prevention regimen, a part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen." Trump's physician said that the president was otherwise in excellent cognitive and physical health, and added that the bruises could also be from the aspirin Trump takes to prevent the cardiovascular disease. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, anyway, also issued a statement to the Independent clarifying the matter, saying President Trump is a man of the people and he meets more Americans and shakes their hands on a daily basis than any other president in history. His commitment is unwavering and he proves that every single day. Meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance expressed willingness to take over as the president if some terrible tragedy takes place. He told USA Today in an interview while asserting that Trump was in great health. My. What are your thoughts, Vice President J.D. Vance ready to take over when there are more receipts where that came from? Gather in close. Like this video. Like this video. Like this video. Let's get these likes up when, again, there's a lot going on, amid, you know, the Supreme Court denying Trump's tariffs, when people are alleging that, he's canceled his what is it? His meetings for the week because of, the Supreme Court denying the tariffs, alleging that they're unconstitutional and not within Trump's power. What are your thoughts when the official campaign has all of the receipts gathered in close when Trump's tariffs found illegal by U.S. appeals court. My.
Breaking news just now on the central economic policy of this Trump administration. In a huge blow to the White House and its agenda, and a big win, I would say, for everyone else, a federal appeals court has just ruled that Trump's sprawling tariffs are unlawful and invalid. Of course, the president has been obsessed with imposing his willy-nilly tariffs on Americans. In fact, it has been the central plank of his entire economic agenda. Now, it has been wildly unpopular. It's pulling underwater. It is costing consumers and corporations billions and billions of dollars a day. It's stopping the Fed from cutting interest rates by driving inflation. It has, on the whole, been really bad economic policy. And most of the discussion of these tariffs have been focused on that. But there's also something about these tariffs, which is that from the jump, they've been pretty clearly illegal. I mean, think about it for a second. Did the president just by himself create tariffs that raise hundreds of billions of dollars with zero congressional input? These tariffs are a violation of the law that they purport to use as the justification, and a violation of the spirit of the Constitution of a country, which was quite literally founded on the belief the executive cannot unilaterally just impose a tax without representation, specifically tariffs. Now, the Trump administration has claimed that its tariff regime, and the reciprocal tariffs that it has, those on China and Mexico and Canada, that those are an emergency measure under a 1974 law, and that made it illegal. Well, when this was challenged in a district court, the district court judge said, no way, this does not comport with the law. So the Department of Justice, acting as Trump's lawyers, appealed, and now, just 20 minutes ago in a huge development, an appellate court has just upheld that ruling 7-4, the federal appellate circuit, saying it is illegal. All the tariffs you're citing are illegal. The emergency you claim is not a valid basis to break the law. Neil Concho argued this case on behalf of the plaintiffs and just emerged victorious. He previously served as acting Solicitor General of the United States, and he joins me now. Neil, frame
So what does this mean? They're saying the tariffs are illegal when and it's being speculated that this could be part of the reason why Trump is hiding, allegedly missing. In the hospital. What's going on? What's going on with Trump? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the chat.
Argument that you made and what the court said about those arguments.
Yeah, so I want to begin, Chris, by saying, like you started by saying it's a blow to the President Trump. The way I really think of it is it's a win for the Constitution, and it's always, a very serious, sober thing when you challenge presidential action, and something you have to do really carefully. But when we looked at this, and I'm privileged to represent a number of small businesses, we looked at it and said, look, this just is way beyond the constitutional pale. And that's what the 7 judges today said on our nation's second highest court. They looked at it and said, the president under our Constitution is given no power to impose tariffs. Our founders expressly gave that to the Congress in Article 1, Section 8. And President Trump himself recognized that last time when he was president. He went and asked Congress for the authority to tariff, and they said no. So President Trump this time around just did it on his own. And what we said is you can't do that under the laws and Constitution of the United States. And that's what I'm glad to see the court reaffirm today.
Yeah, I thought this is an interesting phrasing. This is the federal circuit, which is an interesting and unique appellate circuit that deals with certain jurisdictions, including international trade. They talk about the 5 executive orders that impose tariffs on, and they say, unlimited duration on nearly all goods from nearly every country in the world. Which I thought was, when you put it like that,
shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody here. Like this video. It's being alleged that over 25 countries have alleged that they're going to stop selling goods to the U.S. when, Trump has been adamant about, the U.S. Producing our own goods here and creating jobs here. Do you feel like this is a good thing, a bad thing? How will this affect us and the U.S. dollar? Let me know your thoughts in the chat.
Pretty broad claim of executive authority.
Yeah, as broad as it could get. And I think this is one thing that the judges were concerned about, and certainly we've been thinking about, which is the Trump administration is saying they want to bring this case to the Supreme Court. And this U.S. Supreme Court for many years has been saying, in particular with respect to a lot of different President Biden's initiatives, these questions are too major for the president alone to decide. They have to be done by the Congress. And here you got something as major as it gets. The Nonpartisan Tax Foundation says that these tariffs are the largest tax increase on Americans since Bill Clinton in 1993. and yet Congress had nothing to do with them. It's just President Trump and the stroke of his pen. And that just can't be the right way to run a constitutional system.
It's been interesting to cover this as we have, because so much is focused on the concrete effects. I mean, right now, if you're buying coffee, for instance, you notice that coffee's gotten very expensive. We don't grow a lot of coffee in the U.S. There's a little bit in Hawaii, but we import a huge amount of coffee. That coffee is being tariffed. So there's all sorts of effects, but the discourse didn't really talk about the legal foundation. The argument that they're making is that there's a 1974 act that allows them to declare an emergency under which they can impose these tariffs. But what's interesting about that act is it doesn't use the word tariff at all. It's entirely about sanctions on essentially countries that we have some geopolitical adversarial relationship with, right?
You're exactly right, Chris. You're doing excellent lawyering. I suspect it's in part due to your spouse, who's an amazing lawyer in her own right. But that's exactly right. The government is saying, in this case, the Trump administration is saying that in 1977, Congress passed a law that gave the president emergency economic powers. And the court today said, yeah, that's true. There's only one problem with that. That 1977 law says nothing whatsoever about tariffs. No president in the 50 years since that law was passed thought it had to do with tariffs. And as I said a moment ago, even Donald Trump didn't think it had to do with tariffs, because the first time around when he was president, he went to Congress to try and get the tariff authority that he's now asserting. And Congress said no. And I suspect, he's worried Congress would say no if he asks again, for all the reasons that you were explaining earlier.
One of the things here, and I want to read again from this decision here, that this is the sort of core of the holding. For the reasons discussed above, we discern no clear congressional authorization by IEPA, that's the 1977 law for tariffs, of the magnitude of the reciprocal tariffs and the trafficking tariffs. Reading the phrase regulate importation, which is the statutory language they're citing, to include imposing these tariffs is a wafer-thin reed on which to rest such sweeping power. How confident were you about winning this case? I mean, you obviously have the lower court on your side, but also courts have been fairly deferential to presidential declarations of emergency powers.
My. Trump has been missing for 4 days now, 4 days, and the people are worried on period. The people are worried. They have been speculating that Trump has some health issues. They have been speculating that, he's hiding amid the Supreme Court's denial, of his tariffs. And yeah, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, no, when you're challenging presidential action, if you're
Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to the Riddler, Chef T, CJ the Cat, Win. My. Happy birthday, Chef T, again. Black Butterfly. Everyone here, everyone watching, like this video. Can you do me a favor? Run on over to the support feature, Win, and support this show. Like this video and subscribe to this video. Let's go.
President facing these challenges, you almost have to try to lose the case. It's like failing kindergarten. You got to try. But I think that's unfortunately where we were here. And that's why, I'm privileged not just to represent this myself, but with a whole group of very conservative folks. The Liberty Justice Center is the entity behind this, a libertarian organization. Judge Michael McConnell, they're a very prominent former judge, very conservative. It's not, this is, when you get to something like this, Chris, the Constitution is not political. It's a bipartisan document that speaks to all of us, and it sets certain ground rules. And one of those ground rules was enforced today. The idea that the president on his own can't tax the American people. That's what King...
So they thought they must not know Trump on period. They must know Trump done already done it on period. They talking about what he can do, what he can't do, what has he done. He done already done it on period. My. Y'all like this video. Where in the world is President Donald Trump? We need proof of life. They said the Chat GPT true social posts are not enough Not enough The official campaign has all other receipts. Before Trump ran off on the plug twice on period, he made sure that he revoked Kamala's Secret Service status. Yes, it did. The official campaign that has all other receipts. Trump, he's a messy one. Yes, it did. Lord, he's so messy. Gathering close.
King George III tried to do. We had a revolution about that.
Yeah, final question for you. I think this is probably, we're not at the Supreme Court yet, but probably the most significant ruling in restraining assertions of power from this president since what happened with Comar Garcia, which did go up to the Supreme Court. The big question is, how confident are you? The Supreme Court's almost certainly going to take this up. How confident are you there?
So I'm very confident in the merits of our argument, Chris. I think it is, rock solid, extremely strong. And I know that there's sometimes some in the public who say, well, this is a court that's dominated by Republican appointees and the like, and you can never get a liberal victory or something. And I have two things to say that. Number one, this isn't a liberal victory. This is a victory for the rule of law that conservatives and liberals should celebrate alike. And number two, the court has shown time and again that it can reach conclusions that are at odds with conservative ideology when the law says so. And when I argued Moore versus Harper, and we talked about that a couple years ago, is a good example. So I think let's let the process play out. Our hope is that the administration doesn't appeal this, that they go to Congress and ask for the authority that the court says. That's what the Constitution says they should be doing. But if they do decide to appeal it, we will be ready at the U.S. Supreme Court for them.
Stephen Miller just posting on social media, the judicial coup is out of control. Those are his words, presumably in response to this. Neil, thank you so much. This was a last second coming to join us in this breaking news.
My. Like this video. I know that's right. Thank you, Riddler. Thank you, Riddler. You guys all follow my friend Riddler over there to the support feature and support the show. We got Cash App, Super Chat, Venmo, Zelle, Crypto, PayPal, however you want to do it. Breaking news, Trump is missing. You guys heard it here first. Okay, the U.S. Appeals Court denied Trump's tariffs that he was trying to put on us, the U.S. people, when they're alleging that it's unconstitutional. What are your thoughts when Trump is hiding? Do you think Trump cares when? Is it going to stop anything when? It's never really stopped Trump from doing anything that he wanted to do in the past when. What do you guys think? What's happening here? We need proof of life before Trump they say that he's hiding somewhere in Washington because, he's there cleaning up Washington. He's using all of the taxpayers' money to clean up Washington on period. They say somewhere hiding out in New Washington. Yes, it did. What are your thoughts on period? Like this video, gather in close. Trump revokes Kamala Harris's Secret Service detail. My. I mean, what did she do? Who looking for her? My. Gathering close.
In just a few weeks, President Trump has done more for D.C. residents than Democrats did in 50 years.
Oh.
And this can be replicated in other crime-ridden cities across the nation. As President Trump...
Oh. My. Why did we start in Washington?
Said all of these elected officials in charge have to do is pick up the phone and ask for the president and the federal government's help.
Of course, he's gonna put all the money into his own backyard first. My. Like this video.
So you hear it there, the White House touting President Trump's federal takeover of the D.C. police force. That has prompted a huge wave of Democratic criticism. But now the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, may be taking a page out of the president's book. Peter Ducey joining us live at the White House.
Oh, did y'all hear about Governor Gavin Newsom ripping Trump a new asshole? My. Trump responds when I have all of the receipts when Trump's last sighting. Okay, before his disappearance, when I have all of the receipts, he made sure to take shots at Kamala and Gavin, on period, before he went missing? Yes, it did. The Fish campaign has all of the receipts. Gathering close.
Hi, Peter. But Bill, they're calling it something different. Governor Newsom thinks that something called a suppression team is superior to a National Guard deployment. He thinks these suppression teams have already had luck in Bakersfield and San Bernardino, so they're going to try to make state police more visible and more involved with local crime prevention on a statewide level.
Crime's an issue and we want to tackle it, and we continue to do more in that space, and we announced and highlighted some of the expansion. What is not contradictory, respectfully, is that we're doing it in partnership with our local communities. We did it in partnership with the Biden administration prior. We're not talking about the nationalization and militarization of the Guard and militarizing the United States cities.
But White House officials think Democratic leaders are doing their constituents a disservice by failing to pick up the phone and ask for a National Guard deployment.
This is our message to Americans in Democrat-run cities nationwide. Decline is a choice. You don't have to live in constant fear of being robbed, raped, or murdered. Your leaders are lying to you, and they have...
Who's living in constant fear of being robbed, raped, or murdered? Where do they live? What is going on? What? This is... Karen. Ugh. Karen. I just can't imagine Karen living in a neighborhood like that. What is she talking about?
I've been failing you for decades.
And when you talk to officials around here at the Trump White House,
And we're gonna start in Washington, of all the places that need renovating. Okay, why don't we start on the old block in Chicago? Okay, why don't we start in Stockton, California, the murder capital of the U.S.? Like, why don't we start somewhere that is notorious for that? Shout out to Uncle Bro in the building. Hey, bro. How are you? I'm so glad that you can make it to the show. Like this video. Like this video. I need everybody liking this video. Let's get these likes up, gathering close. We got a lot of things to get into, taking a deep dive into the world of politics. Word on the street is President Donald Trump is missing. What are your thoughts?
they think that the success with cleaning up D.C. over the last couple of weeks since the beginning of August is one of the second term's biggest successes. Back to you.
Peter, before you go, can you tell us a little bit about what we're learning regarding Kamala Harris and her Secret Service detail?
Yes, White House official texted me this morning to confirm that her Secret Service detail has been suspended. Harris people have told they don't have any reason to, no reason was given for the suspension. But there are two important points about this. Point number one, vice presidents typically only get 6 months.
So Trump is alive, okay, on period. Clearly, he just not in the public's eye okay, on period, because he had time to revoke Kamala's Secret Service detail. My.
Of protection after leaving office, but Joe Biden extended hers. And the other point here, she has got a book tour that starts on September 24th.
Who cares? Who's reading that book? Girl, who goes out to buy the loser's book, Like, girl, what's that book about, What can Kamala tell us? What can Kamala show us, How to lose and hide and not show up for the people? My. Girl, you see how quickly she reverted back to her Indian American self after the election, after she lost disgracefully. Yes, it did. Y'all like this video? Like this video? You seen that? You seen it? Okay, you could be mad if you want to. I'm just telling the truth, Okay, on period. Kamala didn't show up to the BET Awards and nothing after that. Okay, on period. She said Black Star Power. Fuck is that? Yes, she did. She didn't know nothing about the hip hop or the R&B or the Diddy doo-wops and none of that. Gathering close.
She and her publishers and her hosts will now be responsible for footing the bill for private security. That is going to be a huge expense.
When she got the money, when all that money that she got from the American people, like, girl gone. You got it. You got it. Okay, on period. It's not like you live in one of those ghettos that with all the people getting raped and robbed that they was talking about. When you be all right. Okay.
Dane and Bill.
And Peter, we're heading into the holiday weekend here. Is the White House liking what they're seeing when it comes to gas prices?
Yes, and this morning when I was asking some officials about something else, they said, why don't you let people know that gas prices are the lowest in 4 years? And so
yes, it did. Yes, it did. Let me go fill my tank up when. What are you talking about?
A chart right here. It shows lowest Labor Day weekend, I should say, in 4 years. $3.79 a gallon in 2022, $3.77 in 2023, $3.29 in 2024, and $3.15 is the projection for this weekend. And officials think the changes in policies are the reason for this decline.
Oh, I can't wait for it to go under $3. $3.15. How much is gas where you at? Let me know in the chat, I don't think gas is that fucking cheap. They lying, Okay, on period. I ain't been outside today, but last time I checked, it was still like $4. $4.56, okay, $4.53, something like that. How much is gas where you at? Let me know it in the chat.
President Trump campaigned on that, right? I want Americans to pay less, and I want them to have more job opportunities.
He did. That's what he said,
But he's actually pursued policies and messaging to deliver just that. Produce more energy in America, you get lower prices, you get more jobs. That's our platform.
That's what he said.
And officials here from the president on down still want gas prices to come down low.
How can you be mad? Okay, he do stand on business. That's what he said
Or below $3 a gallon. They think that can happen once these policies have some more time to take effect.
They think.
Dan and Bill.
I think we all want them as low as they can get.
Indeed.
Peter Ducey, live at the White House. Good to see you, Peter.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host Harry.
My. Like this video, like this video, like this video. Gas still $4.50 where you at? Yeah, for I don't know where's $3 at when. They must be like, in the the South. Okay, on period. Like this video, like this video, like this video. We in gathering close. We got a lot of things to get into. So, last time Donald Trump was spotted outside, okay, on period, was on August 25th for the signing of the executive orders where he speaks the tariffs, he speaks Governor Gavin Newsom, he speaks Kamala, and much, much more. The official campaign has all other receipts. Gather in close, gather in close. Remember to like this video and support. Do we have any trophies in the chat? Do we have any trophies in the chat? Can you guys see the link? It's pinned, right? The Cash App link. We got Cash App, Super Chat, Venmo, Zelle, Crypto. Y'all can see the link. Y'all let me know it in the chat. Y'all let me know it in the chat. Remember to like this video and support this video. We can't do it without your support. Gather in close.
We've got a lot of important days, but this is a meeting and a group of people that are doing an unbelievable job in control crime, and in particular, violent crime. Today we're going to be discussing it, and I watched as a very incompetent mayor from Chicago said, well, what do they know? They only arrested 9 people. I said, 9 people? We didn't arrest 9 people. We actually arrested a total of well over 1,000 people. We took hundreds of guns away from young kids that were throwing them around like it was candy. We apprehended scores of illegal aliens. We seized dozens of illegal firearms. There have been 0 murders. It sounds sort of terrible to say. It's embarrassing. I did this over the weekend. I went to the speech, and I acted like I was so proud. As I said, we've had 0 murders in the last week. And some of these people were from foreign countries. They said, that doesn't sound so good. And I said, well, it doesn't sound good, but Washington was the most dangerous place in this country. And now, you know what? It's probably the safest place in our country. Everyone's starting to come here. The restaurants now you can't get in. Many of them closed because they couldn't open. Everybody before me is happy what I'm doing. Most people say that because you're radical left. The newspapers are so dishonest. The press is totally dishonest, but that's all right. We got used to it. And we won our landslides. So obviously, it's impossible to imagine that when you get 97% negative stories, purposely negative stories, even though you've done 97% positive things, that they could win an election in a landslide, winning all 7. Think of it, all 7 swing states, winning by the popular vote by millions of votes. We had a fantastic, the best this year, districts out of 3,000 districts. I guess we won 3,500. We won 2,750, and they won 500. And that's, to me, the best of all. And we had tremendous in every way the election. And it's hard to believe you can do that when you have a corrupt media. But you are, many of you are corrupt, and there's nothing we can do. We keep winning, and we're going to keep winning. And this whole story on crime is incredible that the Democrats wouldn't be with us. So the mayor of Chicago, I watched him this morning, he said, Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. He only apprehended 9 people. Well, number one, that's false. Literally, it's thousands. We'll get into that. But more importantly than anything, we took guns away. We have some of the worst career professionals out of the country already. They've been taken out of the country, and some are in solid confinement because these are killers. We arrested some very bad people. And in the last 11 days, again, I hate to say it because it sounds so ridiculous, but in the last 11 days, we've had no murders. And that's the first time that's taken place in years, actually years. We always have a murder a week. They call it a murder a week. You come here from Iowa, you come here from Indiana, you come here from Idaho, because you're so proud of your country, you love your country, and then you get murdered, your son gets murdered, you go...
Who knew all that about Washington when? My. Who knew Washington was like that when? Lord, like this video, like this video, like this video when. Gathering close, we got a lot of things to get into.
Murdered. You get murdered. See the media, you get murdered. Many of you have been mugged in Washington, you just don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
And I know that every time I do this with you, you almost everything, but every time I do this with you, people will say to yourselves, he's right, and then you write a negative story. But we are doing an incredible job. The people behind me are amazing. We're working very well with the Washington police, as you know. The D.C. National Guard is unbelievable. We're also getting tremendous help from Secret Service. And we are at a point where Washington is booming again. People are pouring in like we haven't seen for years. Nobody wanted to come here. They didn't want to come here and get murdered. I have a friend of mine, has a very successful son. And I said, where is your son going to be this weekend? He said, he's going to Washington with his friends. I said, really? Yeah, he's wanted to do it for 4 years, but he couldn't do it because it was so unsafe. And he's a tough kid, too. It's so unsafe. and he ended up staying 3 nights, going out to restaurants all 3 nights. He said it was so beautiful, so peaceful, because all the criminals are either arrested or they're hiding, and we're finding the ones that are hiding. So I want to thank Pam Bondi. I want to thank our Vice President. I want to thank everybody standing behind me, because they are really, Gaddy has been unbelievable, by the way. They have done an unbelievable job. They're working 24
And we're finding the ones that are behind, that are hiding. You see that gold thing right there? That gold emblem thing right there? Allegedly, that's the new thing, that new gift or item, a solid gold that Trump has got at the White House with. My, my, my. My, my, my. What is that?
4 hours a day. And Washington, D.C. is now in great shape. I'm going to be working with Clark Construction, which is by far your biggest construction company. And we're going to also beautify Washington. We're going to rip down the broken medians. Next time we're going to put asphalt on the roads. We're not ripping them apart like these stupid people do. They rip a road. They rip a road down to the dirt, and then they spend 5 years in building the new one, and then it starts settling. And they'll spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a road. I'll spend about $2, and it'll look better. So we're going to be replacing medians. We're going to be replacing
not $2.
Much of the asphalt in the road, which is in the city, which is in bad shape. We have great stripers. We have great contractors, but we have to let them do the thing. The Congress has said that they'll give us whatever money is needed to fix up the Capitol. This is the Capitol, and we're not going to spend a lot. It's going to go fast, and it will be spotless. And we want it spotless for the World Cup and for the Olympics. So the World Cup was here the other day, and come to think of it, there's your trophy for the World Cup. In fact, it's solid gold. That's actually solid gold, so heavy that some of the people...
Oh, the trophy from the World Cup. Okay.
Right above the angel, right over there. That's solid gold, too. We're going to put right up there. Look at that. There's a solid gold trophy. They know how to get to me, you know. I like the angel better, to be honest with you. So, we're going to sign, and then we'll take a few questions, and we'll tell you how good a job we're doing. And we want to go from here to other places, but I was telling some of the people that in a certain way, you really want to be asked to go. You know, I hate to barge in on the city and then be treated horribly by corrupt politicians and bad politicians, like a guy like Pritzker. You know, spend more time in the city, actually. The guy is a disaster. Gavin Newsom's a disaster. When we saved Los Angeles, you wouldn't have been able to have the Olympics.
My.
They're barely able to have it now. They did lose 25,000 houses to fire.
Oh.
Because they didn't let the water come down from the Pacific Northwest.
My.
Right about it. I had to break into the water supply to let the water down. Even now, we want more. We can have much more. It's less than half of what should be coming in. I don't know, they have a political thing about it. It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. But I don't like going to a town, city, place, a state, and then be criticized by some corrupt or incompetent governor. Where crime is rampant. Like, take a look at D.C. Crime was rampant. It was at the all-time worst. It got really bad during the Biden 4 years. And then I have a mayor stand up and say how crime has reached a 30-year low. 30-year low. People are being killed left and right. And it's not a 30-year low. Think of it. So for 11 days, there's been no murders. The record goes back years where that's happened. They haven't seen it happen in years. And then people stand up, and instead of thanking us, which they should do, and she's not that bad. She's better than most. But you have people I watched in Illinois. Chicago, Illinois is a disaster. I have property there. It's a disaster what's going on in Chicago. And you get a Pritzker, he's violating our rights. I think this is another men and women's sports thing. I think this is one of those, they call them 80-20 issues. I call them 97-3. I think the Democrats better get smart. And, politically, I hope they don't. But actually, in terms of love for the country, I hope they do, because it will be good to work together. So I'm thinking about, when I have some slob like Pritzker criticizing us before we even go there, I made the statement that next should be Chicago, because, as you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now. And they don't acknowledge.
Didn't I say that?
And they say, we don't even...
Didn't I say he should go to Chicago when? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So he said going to Chicago next. That's good. Like this video. What are your thoughts about Trump's plans to clean up the country of crime, rape, murder, robbery? My. What are your thoughts? Yeah, let me know in the chat. Like this video, gathering closest up in the stuff. Remember to support the show. We can't do it without you. Trophies! You know what to do.
Dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense and a smart person. And when I see what's happening to our cities, and then you send in troops, instead of being praised, they're saying you're trying to take over the republic. These people are sick. But I'm really saying, and I say this to all of you, And well, we should wait till the end because they have cities that are so under control, out of control. So we go in and fix it. They take the full credit for it, and they go out and say, I heard it this morning. They're saying how well they've done over the last 10-day period, that they set record lows. They don't say that we're there with very tough people, by the way. They have to pass the toughness test. Otherwise, they're not working for us. So we're allowed to do that now according to the United States Supreme Court decision. Now, they have to pass the toughness test. If they're not tough, we don't want them for this job. They might be great for other jobs, but not for this job.
Oh.
Because they're respected. You saw the gang of kids that were all huddled up, and the group of soldiers walked up. They never even got over. Those kids ran back to their homes or wherever the hell they came from. They were gone. This is one of the safest cities right now in the world, as crazy as that sounds. And it took 7 days. It took really 3 days, but we're now in our 11th day. So I want to thank you. So we had all of these things, 439 illegal alien criminals have been removed, and we have 6 known gang members, some of the worst leaders of gangs anywhere in the country, MS-13 and Tren de Aragua. The 2 missing children that have been recovered, they thought they were gone. We brought them back to the family. The family started crying. They couldn't believe that they saw their child again. 49 homeless encampments have been removed. Like we have the head of South Korea coming in a little while, the president, and you guys down the street.
Where did you put the homeless people?
What happened? It's so clean. We always came in, it was filthy dirty with homeless and papers all over the road. That's the other thing. Those roads are swept immaculate. But they're going to be much better in a few months when we put a topping on. They're going to look like they're brand new. We'll get rid of those rusty old medians that have been crashed into 1,000 times. And they don't fix it. They just let them, they lay them down on the road and they sit there for months. We don't run things. We run things like we run this. So we like clean, we like beautiful, we like safe, and that's what we're getting. So I'll start signing the executive orders. To me, this is a very, very big deal. One of the executive orders has to do with cashless bail. That was when the big crime in this country started. And I can tell you who did it, when, but I don't want to do that because others followed pretty quickly. But that was when it happened. Somebody kills somebody, they go in, don't worry about it, no cash, come back in a couple of months, we'll give you a trial. You never see the person again. I mean, they kill people and they get out. Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on the street. Any street, all over the country, cashless bail. We're ending it, but we're starting by ending it in D.C., and that we have the right to do through federalization.
What do you do that at?
Can I ask you to say exactly what this is?
Of course. So, as you consistently identified, sir, cashless bail policies are a key driver of the disorder we see on city streets all over America. Catch and release system allows criminals to keep going back out on the street and reoffending. What this executive order does, it charges your attorney general with identifying jurisdictions all over the country that have cashless bail policies, and then it withholds or revokes federal funds and grants that are flowing to those jurisdictions to ensure that we're only supporting people who have reasonable common sense policies around crime.
Oh, not reasonable common sense policy.
That has a cashless bail policy, so some of the largest cities, some of the most left-wing states in America.
So then they don't qualify for the funding if they don't follow the executive order, huh?
They throw him out of the family business and he becomes governor. Now he wants to run for president. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, we'll sign right here, right? So important. And this is a Republican Democrat. And by the way, most Democrats agree with this. But this is just, we got to bring our country back.
Oh.
Okay? That's a big one.
Also on the issue of cashless bail, sir, this is a D.C.-specific executive order. In addition to the measures that we're taking that are quite similar to what we're doing around the country, in D.C. in particular, the objective is holding as many criminal defendants in federal custody and subjecting them to federal charges as possible. That means that they'll be held pre-trial in federal jail as opposed to just being cut back out on the streets due to a cashless bail policy. Okay?
We got the room. And by the way, the prison they have, D.C. is horrible. It's horrible. People were subjected to live in that dog trap for so long, so unfairly. I have stories you'll be hearing about it. The prison is horrible. Okay.
This is an executive order.
It ain't supposed to be nice.
Measures relating to crime and law enforcement in Washington, D.C. It charges, for example, your Secretary of Defense with establishing specialized units in both D.C. National Guard and the National Guard units around the country, specifically trained and equipped to deal with public order issues. It charges all of your various federal law enforcement agencies with hiring additional personnel to allow them to search personnel to Washington, D.C. to deal with the current emergency here. It does a number of other things in that space, and it also asks the Attorney General to look at D.C. Metropolitan Police general orders that have currently impeded law enforcement efforts in the city, and to potentially look at unwinding those that are stopping the police from doing their job effectively.
And are we going to ask this to be codified by Congress, all of these things?
I think we could potentially, yes, sir.
Sounds like a waste of money.
I think Democrats will vote. Well, it's hard to believe that they might not, but I think Democrats will actually vote for this. There's no auto pen that can do this. Is that a good signature? Seriously, is that a good signature? Who can write like that? Nobody. I don't know. That's the other thing.
Nobody.
The whole auto pen scandal. The person that ran it said he spoke to it briefly twice about nothing. That means that all those pardons that he gave to some very bad people, very unpatriotic people, very evil people, it looks to me like those pardons are worthless. Because number one, you shouldn't use an auto pen very specifically. But if you do, it has to be a very good reason. And they have to know that the president wanted it. The president didn't want this. The president didn't know he was alive, okay? He never approved any of this stuff.
My.
He was for open borders and all the other things. He was never for open borders. I've known Biden a long time. He was never very sharp.
Oh!
In favor of open borders and all of the other things he did to destroy our country.
Last, Mr. This is an executive order on flag burning that charges your Attorney General.
Would you listen to this? This is very flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags.
What?
All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, to a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision. They called it freedom of speech, but there's another reason which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens...
I know, that's right. Hey, James. Thank you so much for supporting the show. You guys all follow my friend James over there to the support feature and support this show. We got Cash App, Super Chat, Venmo, Zelle, Crypto, PayPal. However you want to done it.
It incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There's some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Just what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, it instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
Damn.
Exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they? Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing to stop it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people say it's more important. Because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on. But people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know, they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people that are trying to destroy our nation. That's not working because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up, trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe, and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented. And it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country. We were not going to survive. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Oh.
It's an honor to be involved. And this group has a lot to do with it, right behind me. Does anybody behind me have anything, Pam? Would you like to say something?
Sure, President. Thank you for keeping D.C. safe. Just a couple examples of a mother, a single mom, whose house was burglarized, and the defendant got out on cashless bail, went back the next night and burglarized her house again. That's why this is so important. A man got in. even never died. He had a gun. He was let out. Next night, he got up, went out, and killed him. So that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you for protecting the American flag. And we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment as well. And I think I think Gabby Saralta had something he wanted to give you on behalf of all the law enforcement who are out there every single night.
Thank you for putting me in charge of this search. As the director of the United States Law Enforcement Service, it's the oldest law enforcement agency. It was created in 1789. So on behalf of all federal law enforcement agencies that we're working with, and those that have yet to join the team, we thought it was only appropriate to present you with honorary United States Marshal Service badge.
Yeah.
And this badge comes with this little item right here, which is a handcuff key, Mr. President. Continue through your policies and your efforts to stop unhandcuffed law enforcement officers all over this nation. And I can tell you personally, okay, thank you for that. Thank you. Continue unhandcuffing law enforcement.
It's a very great honor.
What does the law enforcement people in handcuffs for in the first place? I don't think he's supposed to have that key.
Well, we love those people. They're brave and they love our country. They don't want to see it. And you know how many people volunteer for this job? And before I ask the VP to say a few words, because he feels very strongly about it, I think it's very important. And
He said he ready to take your spot.
The state people, they come and ask us. I mean, I see Pritzker saying, we don't want that. In the meantime, the city is being shot to hell.
Who?
And they do that politically. And they probably do want it. If we didn't go to Los Angeles, you would literally have had to call off the Olympics. It was so bad. And the sheriff and the law enforcement people, but the sheriff said, and he came out very strongly, he said, if we didn't have these people, we were not able to control it. Now, 4 days later, after we had it totally under control, we did that quickly. He changed his tune a little bit. Well, I think we could have done it. They were dead. If we didn't send in the troops, Los Angeles was dead, the Olympics was gone, the World Cup was gone, everything was gone.
No, not dead.
He's an incompetent governor. But I think people should want us to do that, because otherwise all they'll do is complain as we do our job.
Not dead. Let me find out that Donald Trump saved Los Angeles when. Let Donald Trump tell it. We'd all be dead when Los Angeles would have went up in flame when if he didn't breach the dam and let the water from the northwest flow down into LA and put out the fires. Is that what happened when? Let me know your thoughts in the chat.
So what to think about that? We go in, like in Washington, we go in and the people that are here that have been doing, I don't want to say terrible because she happens, she's a nice woman. Yes. I don't care about if she's nice. I want her to do, I'd rather have her be horrible but do the job. But we come into Washington and we have the 11 best days they've had here in 2 centuries. I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Let's go 2 decades. In over 20 years, they haven't seen anything like what happened. And now they're out there saying, we don't have crime in Washington. Well, that's true. For 11 days, you don't have crime. But before that, everybody was getting hit and mugged, and you people could not walk to your office without security. That's how unsafe it was. So I think we should really let them have their city, let their city go to hell, and when they come and beg us to help. The only problem is, I want to say that because the people want us there. The people here, 95% of the people here want us. The real people, not the people you find. I don't know where you find these people. You have one person that has a broken nose. We didn't get it. Well, I was mugged. Good. Do you want to see Trump here with? No, I don't want. Woman has a broken nose. She got mugged. But she's saying she doesn't want any protection. It's all made up fake news. It's just fake news. I don't know where you find these people. You say a couple of words, please, and then I'm going to ask JD to say something. You've done an unbelievable job in a short period. Thank you, Mr. President. Highly recommended by you know who, right? That's it. Do you want to say his name? He called me. Len Youngkin called and he said, I have somebody who's really fantastic. And based on that recommendation,
I stole from Governor Gavin Newsom.
Men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department are back. They enjoy doing their job. They feel the ability,
they feel that they're connected to their communities.
they are making a difference. Thanks to you, Mr. President, our federal task force, you are making DC safe. Once again, thank you, sir. It's going to get better and better.
He said shit. Like this video, like this video, like this video. When remember to support this video. We got Cash App, Super Chat, Venmo, Crypto, PayPal, however you want to do it. Gather and close.
JD, please.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks, Mr. President. Thanks to the incredible team here. You know, I want to echo something the president said, where you say there have been murders in a couple of weeks in D.C., and it doesn't sound good, but then you talk to local law enforcement, and I didn't realize this, that this town averaged one murder every other day for the last 20, 30 years, which means that in 2 short weeks, the president and the team have saved 6 or 7 lives, people who would have been killed on the streets of D.C., who are now living, breathing, spending time with their families, because the president had the willpower to say, no more. We're not going to give the streets of D.C. over to vagrants and robbers and murderers. And the last point I want to make, sir, to your point about we want people to welcome us, to ask us, because look at Governor Pritzker in Illinois, or Governor Newsom in Los Angeles, or Governor Moore in Maryland. They are angrier about the fact that the President of the United States is offering to help them get their crime under control than they are about the fact that murderers are running roughshod over their cities and have been for decades. Why are Democratic governors angrier about federal law enforcement helping clean up their streets than they are about the fact that those streets need to be cleaned up to begin with? It shows a real sickness in the head. And I agree with the President of the United States. I think most Democrats, rank and file, nobody likes crime. Republicans don't like crime. Democrats don't like crime. Independents don't like crime. Why are Democratic governors doing everything in their power to make crime easier to do in their cities? It doesn't make an ounce of sense to me. But, Mr. President, I appreciate you being willing to help. And I hope these governors take you up on the offer, because we should clean up all of America's streets. It's the right of every American to live in safety and comfort in the community.
My.
The people to do it, they're signing up like they've never signed up before. Our military, as you know, during the campaign, nobody was signing up. We were way short of their goal, we were understaffed. Nobody wanted to be in the military, nobody wanted to be a policeman, nobody wanted to be a fireman. They didn't want anything to do with the country. We had an incompetent, grossly incompetent president who frankly should not have been there. He should have never been there. The damage he did to this country is incalculable. What he has done, so much of our effort are getting murderers and jailbirds and people out of this country who are drug dealers at the highest level. So much of the energy of people that he led, it was an unforced error, but I don't think they think it's an error. But I don't believe he believed it. It was the radical lunatics that surrounded this guy at this desk, who are brilliant people, but with the wrong philosophy. There are some brilliant people, but they're evil people, and they're going to be brought down. They have to be brought down because they really hurt our country. But we're getting it back very quickly. And I'll tell you something, our country's now is stronger. I think we're more respected than we've been respected in 100 years. It's a whole different ballgame. JD, can I ask you, you gave a stat on murders here. What were the numbers you said in your show?
Hey.
Local law enforcement told me, sir, that in the past 20 or 30 years, D.C. has averaged a murder every other day. That's, 200 murders a year, 150, 250, but about every other day a person has been killed on the streets of Washington, D.C. We've been doing this for 2 weeks. 0 people killed. That's real lives saved. That the media and frankly the entire Democratic Party should be saying, thank you for saving lives instead of attacking the President of the United States for doing so.
You know, when a person, unfortunately, will probably happen at some point, when a person's murdered in D.C., it's going to be the biggest story maybe in history. Somebody was murdered in D.C. Trump is failing. No, we're not failing. We have a safe city. This is maybe the safest city in America right now. That's
wow.
And it would be nice to be appreciated. These people eventually, they're going to have to be appreciated for what they're doing. And they're going to have to be appreciated by the officials that are really happy when we go in because they've lost control of their...
What is that, like martial law or whatever? Like, who wants to be going outside and seeing all kind of police and soldiers and National Guards and shit like that? I'll pass.
No police officer working in the city can remember a time in their lives when there has been no murders. You can work for police for 20 years, 30 years of their life. You check the records, when do we find a record of being murder-free? They're going to be murder-free under President Trump's leadership. Additionally, and I've spoken about this before, we've uncovered in the process of uncovering a massive scheme in Washington, D.C. with the doctoring of crime stats. And the Department of Justice, under the Attorney General, is leading an effort to uncover this. But when we ultimately share the results, it will stun us. The extent to which, even though D.C. had the worst crime in America, honestly measured, it dramatically understated how bad it was. There's even accusations that murders and homicides were reported as accidents instead of murders. I mean, this is how severe the manipulation of the crime data has been in the city.
My.
It'll all be brought to light. I've had a chance to spend some time, as everyone here, with the police officers in the city. Members of the public are going up to them and thanking them, just overflowing with gratitude. This is the first time in their lives they can use the parks, they can walk on the streets. You have people who can walk freely at night without having to worry about being robbed or mugged. They're wearing their watches again. They're wearing jewelry again. They're carrying purses again. People have changed their whole lives in the city for fear of being murdered, mugged, and carjacked. It is a literal statement that President Trump has freed 700,000 people in the city who were living under the rule of criminals and thugs. The last thing I'll say is that under the efforts of Terry, And I left the many here. What they found also is that the street criminals here in Washington, D.C. were doing business directly with the transnational criminal cartels, the foreign terrorist organizations. So not only was the city being run by these criminal thugs, but they were working with some of the most dangerous terrorist organizations on the planet to traffic weapons and drugs into this city. What we're uncovering every day is shocking to us, and we look forward to sharing all the results with you. But President Trump, your leadership has uncovered some of the great public safety scandals on the right, and now because of you, people are safe in the streets for the first time ever.
Thank you very much. You know, in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills is, great place. Had a house there. Used to stay a lot of time. And a great place. You know that I have friends, they leave their trunk open for their car because they know they're going to be vandalized. They don't want the trunk ripped off in order for them to see what's in the back. They leave the doors open, so when they go in to steal the radio or whatever they pay, that they don't rip off the door. They leave the doors totally open, so the criminals, when they go and open the door, they have to break the windows and kill the
How many times you gonna say it?
In the car that they're looking for. And that's at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Nobody lives like that. I have another friend, he has a garage, and in order to save his garage door, he leaves it open. So that people can just walk into his garage, take whatever they want, and leave. But all the cars are, so many cars, I've been told this by many people.
I ain't never heard no shit like that. That's some rich people shit. They got good insurance. Okay, that's a scam.
And you know that. I mean, you've heard that. Chrissy, could you say a few words?
Sure. Well, Mr. President, I think most impactful statistics that we used today was of the 1,000 arrests that have happened already so far. 439 of them were illegal criminals, which means they never should have been in this country to begin with. That they were in this country, invaded over our southern border or our northern border over the maritime seas, and then they committed crimes against the American people. So
Trump is missing, friend. Trump is missing. We trying to figure out what had happened when.
And sir, they do. Exactly like Stephen was talking, they have ties to cartels, they have networks across this country and other cities. So by what you're doing here is going to have a ripple effect in Miami, in Chicago.
This is one of the last times he was seen.
And giving us information and targeting information to go and get more criminals across this country. So thank you for the work that you're doing. We have ICE and CBP, Federal Protective Services, Secret Service, HSI, all of our officers are working with all the other agencies every day here in DC, and they're so proud to have this kind of partnership. So we're so glad that you're letting them do their jobs again. And I don't know if you heard, sir, that the recruitment campaign for ICE, when we were going to hire 10,000 new officers, we've got over 130,000 people that have applied and raised their hands and said they want to work with ICE. So no matter what the fake news says or what the media says about ICE not having support, they've got incredible support from the American people. People want to join them and help them do what they're doing to make America safe again. So.
And I was going to say that our recruitment drive, so it was dead. During the campaign, they couldn't get there.
Girl,
Every story was the Army.
all these people with no job, they better get their ass out there and do something.
They can't fill out the Marines. None of them could fill out.
I mean, ICE, but you know, shit.
We've just set records on everybody wants to be in.
It's a job, bro. Shit. Somebody got it done. Oh, that's fucked up. My, he hiding from the Epstein list? Lord.
But we're setting records in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard.
She said they got 130,000 people who applied for ICE. That's crazy.
Leading in space now. China was killing us. Russia was beating us. China was killing us. We're not killing China. We are leading in space by a lot because of Space Force. So we're very proud. But everybody wants to go in. We went from not, and you know how bad that is for the spirit when every story that you were writing a year ago was that nobody wants to go into the military anymore. And if you're in the military, you know how deflating that is. You go home to your family. Nobody wants the job that you have. Well, now it's the opposite. Everybody wants to be there, and that includes police and fire and everything else. We stopped a lot of wars. just the presidents were stopping them. We've stopped 7.
Like this video, like this video, like this video. Remember to support. We've got breaking news. They say Trump is missing. When Trump is missing, where in the world is Trump? Like this video, share this video, comment, and support. Gathering close.
Wars, and really the numbers actually 10. We're not including a couple. We're not including in there what we did with Iran, stopping their nuclear play. They would have had within a month or two. They would have had a nice big nuclear weapon to use. That's not going to happen. That won't happen. But Pete, go ahead, please.
Mr. President, thank you very much for your leadership. And the best part is proud to be part of this effort. Just like we have been down at the southwest border, where crossings are at 0, we've got national defense areas where we work with the border patrol to secure the southern border for the American people. Just like Los Angeles, where ICE officers deserve to do their job without being attacked, we're really proud to be a part of defending the nation's capital and ensuring it is safe and beautiful and working with law enforcement and
President, let me tell you, the morale of the troops getting out there talking to them, they love this mission. They're grateful to be doing it, whether the DC National Guard or other state National Guards. And at your direction as well, sir, it's just common sense to make sure they're armed as well. So they were going to make sure they're armed, capable of defending themselves and others who need, supporting law enforcement and the proud to do so.
Well, look at the
accomplished with Iran.
Just giving civilians weapons? Is that what's going on? Is there any training involved?
Right down those chutes, dark at night, no moon, no nothing. Every target, every bomb went right down. There's a chute that goes right down deep into the mountain. And they shouldn't have put ventilation in, I can tell you, because they use that for our advantage. But what they did, and we had the pilots and even the people that took care of the planes, we had a whole group of people at the White House a couple of weeks ago. And you know, I didn't realize this, but they said, we've been looking at their predecessors, and then these were the pilots. They said, we gave them beautiful medals. And gave them the medals just like this. See? Just like that. They were so happy. They gave a lot of them out for that. It was an incredible job. You know, we had 52 tankers, people don't realize, so that they could refuel. We had many fighter jets, F-22s, F-35s. It was an amazing operation. It was flawless. Compare that to the operation when they went in with the helicopters crashing and running around the desert, the prisoners being taken, and that was Jimmy Carter. What a horrible thing. This was the exact opposite. This was the exact opposite of what they did in leaving a very, very nice place. The Taliban runs a tough operation in Afghanistan. And I think it was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. That was Biden. I was leaving, and we would have left with strength, tremendous strength. We would have had we would have kept Bagram, which is the air base, one of the largest runways in the world, one of the most powerful. You could land anything on it, many, many feet thick. You don't build them that way anymore.
All Biden's fault.
But we left it in China's house.
Hey, friends. Shout out to these clowns crazy as fuck. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody watching. Gathering close.
If they won, you wouldn't have a country anymore.
Oh.
So you started off by saying the Department of Defense, and somehow it didn't sound good to me. You know, it didn't sound good. Defense. What are we defense? Why are we defense? So it used to be called the Department of War, and it had a stronger sound. And as you know, we won World War I, we won World War II, we won everything. Now we have the Department of Defense with defenders. I don't know if you people want to stand behind me, if you take a little vote, if you want to change it back to what it was when we used to win wars all the time, that's okay with me. All right? You let me know if you want to do it. I think Department of War. It just sounded there. He said, "Sir, on behalf of the Department of Defense, defense." I don't want to be defense only. We want defense, but we want offense too, if that's okay. So you'll make a decision. But you know, as Department of War, we won everything. We won everything. So I think we're going to have to go back to that. In the meantime, I've stopped all of these wars. I've stopped them. The big one would have been India and Pakistan. But we stopped them all. We stopped 3 wars. Go to Africa. They like to say, oh, you know, I love black people. And they did great with about black people. But they say he's a racist. He's a racist.
Right.
I said, really?
Said I love black
A
people.
war raged between Rwanda and the Republic of the Congo. And it was a vicious war. 9 million people were killed with machetes.
What he said? He said I love black people.
That went on the Department of Defense with defenders. I don't know. If you people want to, standing behind me, if you take a little vote, if you want to change it back to what it was when we used to win wars all the time, that's okay with me. All right? You let me know if you want to do it. I think Department of War. It just sounded there. He said, sir, on behalf of the Department of Defense, defense. I don't want to be defense only. We want defense, but we want offense too, if that's okay. So you'll make a decision. But you know, as Department of War, we won everything. We won everything. And I think we're going to have to go back to that. In the meantime, I've stopped all of these wars. I've stopped them. The big one would have been India and Pakistan. But we stopped them all. We stopped 3 wars. Go to Africa. They like to say, oh, you know, I love black people. And I did great with development with black people. But they say he's a racist. He's a racist. I said, really? Oh, you know, I love black people. 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 Oh, you know, I love black people.
I know, that's right.
And I did great with development with black people. But they say he's a racist. He's a racist. I said, really? For 35 years, a war raged between Rwanda and the Republic of the Congo. And it was a vicious war. 9 million people were killed with machetes, largely. Hatchets, machetes. That went on for more than 30 years, for 34, 35 years. And I stopped it. In fact, the presidents are coming in a week or 2 to sign. We have the foreign ministers to all sign the war stop. But I got it stopped. It saved a lot of lives. The Congo. It's deep in the deepest, darkest Africa. I got that war stopped. Nobody else could have done that. We did a lot of jobs. We did a lot of wars were stopped that nobody thought would even be possible. But I'll tell you what, the war with India and Pakistan, that was the next level. That was going to be a nuclear war. They already shot down 7 jets. That was raging. And I said, you guys want to do trade? We're not doing any trade. We're not doing anything with you if you keep fighting. We got 24 hours to settle it. They said, well, there's no more war going. And I use that on numerous occasions. Trade. I use whatever you had to use. We got 7 of them stopped. And the one to go would be easiest, frankly, was going to be Russia and Ukraine. But that turns out to be some big personality conflicts. It's one of those things. But we're going to get that stopped eventually. We're going to get that stopped too. 7,000 soldiers died last week. 7,000.
Oh.
I usually say 5,000, but 7,221 soldiers died last week in the fight between Ukraine and they're not our soldiers, but they're souls. They're living souls, and they leave their homes, and they wave to their parents, and their parents are so proud, and they leave in a beautiful uniform, and a week later they get their head blown off by a drone.
Oh.
New form of military. It's a whole
Terrible.
form of fighting. So I would just like to thank the people that are behind me. Thank you very much. You've done a fantastic job. I appreciate it very much. We're doing a real job, and I'm so proud of DC. I passed it 2 days ago, and all the garbage is off the streets. It's terrible. I came in a month and a half ago. I'm driving down, and I see garbage all over the place. The streets were a pigsty. Like I won't use the city's names, but you know what I'm talking about. There are plenty of them outside of this country and inside of this country. Baltimore is a horrible deathbed. It's a deathbed. I know Governor Moore said, he wants to take a walk with me. He meant it in a derogatory tone. I said, no, I'm the president of the United States. Clean up your crime, and I'll walk with you. But
My. Yeah, I'm the president of the United States. Clean up your crime, and I'll walk with you. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody watching. Everybody coming in asking what's going on. Breaking news: President Donald Trump is missing. People are alleging that he's hiding. People are alleging that he has health issues. People are alleging that something more permanent could have happened when on period. Again, it is breaking news when we will be back with more information as this story develops. Until next time, shout out to everybody here, shout out to everybody watching. I have fun with you guys all tonight, and I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, adios.